Good morning. Welcome to Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins, your host, joining you this morning on Monday, May 16th, 2022. That's right. We are here for episode 38 of Mullin It Over, picking up where we left off. I think the last one we did was a chip challenge, but now we're reconverting this and rebranding it into a morning show. So thanks for joining us here on Mullin It Over. We're about a half hour late because we're dealing with some issues as far as streaming. We're trying to get it to stream to our Facebook pages and our YouTube and our Twitch, and it's not working for us this morning. So forgive us if you're dealing with any kind of issues and you're trying to find it, you can't find it. We will get it posted as soon as we get it recorded. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and roll with this, and if it doesn't stream to the right places, well, we're just going to go ahead and record it and post it later. So once again, thanks for tuning in here on Mullin It Over. It is 9:02 here in Tiffin, Ohio. And once again, it's Monday, May 16th. Let's take a look at the weather and see how beautiful it is here in Tiffin, because we had a gorgeous weekend. We got spoiled here in Ohio. It's early May, mid-May now, and we had a 80-degree week for the most part all week last week. One of those rarities, as I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's no more spring in Ohio. I think it disappeared. There's winter, and then it goes straight into summer, because the spring that I remember was like 65, 70 degrees, light breeze. You know, there was some rain. Obviously, we had to deal with those rain days, but then we got those nice 60, 70 degree days, and those are the days I live for. Being a big husky guy myself, I sweat a lot, and I love those days because I don't really need a hoodie. I don't really need a jacket. And I can go outside and do anything I want to do without really working up too much of a sweat. Whereas it gets up into the 80s, mid 80s, and literally I can just sit here and work up a sweat. And that's the kind of, I hate that. I'm sorry. I just absolutely hate when I'm sweating and I'm not doing anything. So once again, it is 56 degrees here in Tiffin, Ohio and Seneca County. It's going to get up to 75 today, partly cloudy skies. No precipitation in the forecast for the rest of the day. We did get a little bit this morning, but it's pretty clear skies here in Tiffin. And it's going to be a gorgeous day. Once again, a nice week coming up this week, as it's going to drop down a little bit temperature-wise compared to last week. Tomorrow, you're going to get up to 72. Wednesday, you get a little bit of rain, 70 degrees. And then Thursday and Friday, it's going to hike back up into the 80s. As Thursday, it's 82, and Friday right now says it's going to be 89 degrees on Friday. Yeah, 89 in May. But yeah, we just deal with what we got. It's this weird mood swing that we deal with as far as Ohio weather is concerned. So speaking of Tiffin, let's take a look at what's going on around the Tiffin community. And for that, we will go to the community calendar, brought to you by Destination Seneca County, one of the products of the Chamber of Commerce. And let's take a look at Monday, May 16th schedule. One thing that I'm really passionate about is animals. I love animals. And Humane Society is doing their drop-off today, tomorrow, and Wednesday for their spring garage sale. That's right. It's drop-off day today, tomorrow, and Wednesday for the Humane Society's garage sale. So make sure you get out there and when I say donate, don't just find some junk in your garage. Go out there and find some stuff that they can actually use, or find some things that they might actually be able to get some value out of that you just don't have any use for anymore. Obviously, I'm not asking you to go out and buy brand new stuff and give it to them, but hey, if you feel the need, more than welcome. But once again, drop-off day for the Humane Society of Seneca County for their spring garage sale coming up next weekend. And then the plant swap is going on today at the library. Drop in anytime between 2 and 4. Leave some extra plants that are looking for a new home, and you might be able to take something home with you. That's right. That's at the Tiffin Seneca Public Library today for all you planties out there, as my wife gives me an interesting look across the room. Yeah, you can go snag yourself a plant today. Just make sure you take one with you. Take a plant, leave a plant. I like that idea. I think that's pretty cool. Once again, that's at the Tiffin Seneca Public Library here in Tiffin and Seneca County. Once again, you're tuned in here on Mullin It Over. And while we're here, let's take a look at the headlines. Now, for this area, what I'm going to do, I mainly am going to look for headlines at the Advertiser Tribune. one of our local institutions, if you will. They're a long-standing community newspaper, and I've had a great relationship with the people at the Advertiser. So I'd love to do some work with them if they're interested. Obviously, shoot me an email, hoosbroadcasting@gmail.com. We are always interested in service swaps. Folks, what does that mean? That means if you've got a business and you've got something that you think we can use, or you think, you have something to offer, and you want to maybe possibly talk about exchanging services, we do offer promotion packages for businesses that are looking for exchange of services. So please get a hold of us. I mean, we do promotions for all kinds of different area businesses. Right now, we are working with a nonprofit to try to get them a little bit more promotion, a little bit more press, and just an exchange of services is kind of thing that we're looking for right now, because we're just trying to build our brand. So anything that you think you can contribute to us, don't feel afraid. Reach out. hoosbroadcasting@gmail.com, or shoot me an email, nmullins, Mullins, @heartofohiosports.com. Now let's take a look at the headlines. The Advertiser Tribune, first and foremost, right there on the front page. Heidelberg class celebrates the class of 2022. That's right. The graduating class of 2022 is the 205th. I'm sorry, no. They celebrated 205 undergrad students and 70 graduate students on Sunday. President Rob Huntington was there, addressed the students, says this is a great beginning to the rest of your lives. And I couldn't have said it any better myself. I mean, it's a big step for any student to graduate. It's been almost 10 years since I graduated with an associate's degree in music business, but that was a big deal for me because I never graduated from high school. And it was huge because nobody in my family had ever graduated from college to that point. So it was a big deal. And for these students, getting a 4-year degree, or, even a longer degree, 6 and 8 year degree, it's a huge accomplishment for these students. So make sure that if you see a Heidelberg student in the community, just say thank you and say congratulations, because they chose to come here and they stayed here and they wanted to be a part of this community. So just make them feel welcome, make them feel a part of the community. Another headline here, fun at the carnival, as the first elementary carnival was hosted at Old Fort Elementary School. That's the one in Bellevue, or I'm sorry, not in Bellevue, Bettsville. I want to say that word too much. But no, this was a great event. Lots of cool pictures here, lots of different kids having fun, different events. And then, let's see here. Let's take a look along the... Oh, wow. That's not something I'd like to see. Let's take a look at the sports headlines, shall we? So sports in this area, currently right now, you're in baseball season and track season, and you're seeing a lot of track results as the Hopewell Loudon Chieftains secured the SBC title over the weekend in track. Big win for them. Sharon Jones had a big showing. And, just Hopewell's really doing a lot of cool things right now. They've got a great baseball team. They've got a great softball team and a lot of talent over there. Just a great job by athletic director Brian Calatrulio and his staff over there at Hopewell Loudon. There's some good things brewing over there with the Chieftains. Let's see here. What else do we got going on? So, Guardians with a big win on Saturday, and then they come back to lose yesterday, 3-1 to the Twins. Right now, currently, they are in third place. They sit 3 games behind the division leader, Minnesota. They're 16-17 on the season, where the Twins are 20-15 now after winning 2 out of 3 in that series over the weekend over the Guardians. And some NASCAR results. And that's pretty much about it as far as sports and the Advertiser's concerned. I'm not really a NASCAR guy, so I don't get into that kind of stuff. But let's talk about local sports as far as our local athletes. As you know, Greg and I have done, I think, a great job this year covering local sports. And we've had an opportunity to see all of these athletes, well, a lot of these athletes in action up front, up close and personal. And you had some really, really talented athletes in this area over the course of this baseball season, track season, all these different things that we have going on. That's what I'm looking for here. Right now, you're seeing a lot of awards in this area with different teams and their star players. And right now, Tiffin Columbian Baseball last night posted the SBC All-League selections. We'll take a moment to highlight some of these players here. First team for the SBC All-League, you've got Carson Malott as a pitcher and Jaden Myers as an infielder. Second team, Bryce Rogo made it as an infielder, and Braden Rogo made it as a catcher, as did Gunther Kissel. He made it as an outfielder for second team. And then player of the year, Carson Malott. You want to talk about efficiency. You want to talk about effectiveness. I mean, Malott has been just absolutely dynamite this year. And it's almost unfair, the talent that he has when you see him on the mound against some of these hitters. I mean, they're just flailing away. I feel bad for some of these guys because he just makes them look bad and he makes it look easy. It's amazing what he's been able to accomplish this year. So you look at his stats. Well, those aren't updated, so I don't want to use those stats. But going into the last game, he was 5-0 with a .4 ERA. Yes, 0.4 ERA. He had pitched 34 and 2/3 innings and had given up just 2 earned runs. Just 5 runs in general, but 2 earned runs all season. 52 strikeouts in 34 and 2/3 innings pitched. That's almost 2 strikeouts an inning. That's pretty ridiculous. I mean, you're talking about a pitcher who I've seen personally go the distance twice now this year. And, I mean, there's a lot of good pitching on that team. They've got a couple other guys who, Bryce Rogo, they've got some other guys in Talib Alzaquani and Braylon Auble. Both of those guys right around 2 ERA. I mean, the team ERA is sitting at 1.68. They had 142 strikeouts on the season. And it's just a team that we've watched them 5 times. We had a chance to catch 5 of their games this year. And as I watched them progress through the season, we did watch them against Clyde. They had a little bit of a hiccup in that game. They had a hiccup against Bellevue as well. But the way they kind of bounce back from those, I don't know if you want to call them bumps in the road, it's remarkable. And this team has a lot of grit. They got a lot of guts. And I'm really excited to see how they perform in the postseason. And that is coming up this week here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That's right, this week, postseason baseball right here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State. We've got tomorrow, Tiffin Calvert versus Van Loo right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And then on Thursday, that's right, Thursday, Hopewell Loudon, as they are awaiting the winner of the sectional semifinal matchup in Division 4. And then on Friday, the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, as they are awaiting the winner of the sectional semifinal. And they'll play the sectional final on Friday at Tiffin Columbian Field. All those games will be home games for the higher seed. So Tiffin Calvert will be at home on Tuesday, Hopewell will be at home on Thursday, and Columbian will be home on Friday. So not much of a travel for us this week, but I'm sure next week we'll start getting into the travel plans and trying to figure things out as far as schedule-wise, because it's going to get interesting the further we have to travel. Hopefully they start pushing these game times off a little bit. That's all I got to say, because I get off work at Madison's at 3 o'clock, and 3 o'clock is kind of 3 o'clock. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 3:30. Just depends on who wants to come in at 2:30 and eat, and how many people. So it's hard for me to get out of there at a certain time. So playoff baseball is going to be kind of hard, but we're going to make it work. We're going to find a way to make it work for you folks. I'm really excited about what we've got coming up here on Heart of Ohio Sports. The morning show here. We've also got a podcast in the works as we're talking about the Pulse podcast, bringing that back. It's something that we've talked about for a while. We debuted this podcast a long time ago, and it's something that, we did about probably at least 12, 13 episodes of the Pulse back when we first started talking about doing sports. And it was a lot of fun. Greg, you and I and Tommy, we used to do those back in the TTF studio days.
I was going to say, it seems like forever ago.
On the campus of Heidelberg University. Greg Kinn joining me on the morning show. So, we've done this show before. Now we're just reviving the idea, bringing it back as a kind of a laid-back version of Heart of Ohio Sports. This is going to be more off the cuff, more, I'd say, less buttoned up, and more, I don't know.
Some more relaxed, but production quality better than ever.
Well, for sure. That's definitely a thing because, in the past we only did audio. Now we've got the video element to add. And then soon enough, we will have our own studio. That's right.
That's what I'm excited about, is getting in the studio, being able to set up things the way that we want them to set up. We'll have things, nice and tidy and a nice, neat background for your show and stuff. And it's just going to look awesome. For sure.
And I'm excited about getting in there, getting started. We should be, and I say should, we're still, it's a process, folks. This whole thing is a process. It's not like, as soon as we saw the place, it was ready. The guy that showed us the place told us it needed a new floor, it needed new plumbing, it needed a new toilet. There were some things that needed to be done before it was ready for us to move in. Well, it's getting there. Let's just say the floor's done. They got the plumbing done. Now they're waiting on the toilet to come in. They had to special order a toilet because of the space that it had to fit into, because it's a small little area. But once they get it installed, we will be able to get in there and start getting the studio set up. And it's going to be one of those things where, Greg, we'll have the studio set up, but we won't be necessarily in the studio like for the public to come in. We'll have just a makeshift studio set up and ready and running, and then we'll build it as we go, as far as like the visual elements and the visual production aspect of it. We'll keep going as, we'll keep it building as we go. And yeah, right. I just want to get in there and get started because we need a place.
That's what we need to do, is be able to get in there and get our hands on stuff to get started with it. We want to play with our new toy first before anybody else gets to.
Oh, yeah. And I don't want to show it to anybody until it's ready. And that's the thing. Folks, I'm saying probably mid-August. That's what I keep trying to tell people. Don't expect any kind of a grand opening to the public or ribbon cutting for a while. We still got some work we got to do. Once we get in there, there's some work we have to do as far as improvements and soundproofing, and
it's like it'll be ready for us soon, but not ready for you guys yet.
That's right. That's right. We'll get there. We're closer than we were, but let's just say we've still got a little ways to go. So we'll keep you updated as that progresses, and once we find out more information, you will know more information. Let's just say that. But once we get into the studio, we'll start to add more production elements. We have the podcast that we're working on. That one is going to be more of a Zoom element until we get into the studio. Mullin It Over, we can do that here from my apartment. It's just not, once we get past two people, there's just not enough room for cameras and all this stuff. And it's just, there's a lot of stuff going on up here. Let's just say that. We've got two artists trying to share the same space. So it just makes for a little bit of it's just a lot of things visually going on here. So that's why we want to get into the studio and kind of minimize the noise as far as visual aspects are concerned. But once we get into the studio, you guys will know about, the progress as it goes along. We'll post pictures. We'll keep you guys updated on everything as it pertains to Studio Squared. But let's get back into it. Let's talk a little bit more here. We've got some, I've been talking about different things that we want to do with this. I've got some ideas, And one of the ideas that I had was, this week is kind of a seniors week. My son's a senior now, and he'll be graduating from Columbian. He's already graduated from Sentinel. He'll be graduating from Columbian soon. And I wanted to kind of take some time to dedicate this week to the seniors and get them the recognition that they deserve. And I kind of feel like the only way we can do that is by reaching out to the community and asking them to submit their spotlight on their senior. So if you have a senior that is graduating from Tiffin Columbian or any of the area schools, Calvert, Columbian, Hopewell, anybody in Seneca County, if you have a senior and you want to spotlight that senior, please submit that information as we deal with the street sweeper here. Yeah. 9:22 on a Monday morning, and this guy strolls right past my apartment for the second time.
Wow, guys, don't you know we're trying to do a show up here?
Yep. Yeah, production elements that we deal with. Hey, you just gotta roll with the punches.
Let's say it won't be this bad when we're in the studio.
Oh, fun. But anyways, where were we? We were talking about something. Let's
senior
talk about seniors. Okay, yes, senior spotlight. So I'm going to make a post on our Facebook page, on the Heart of Ohio Sports page, and then I'll share it on all the different pages that we have. I want you to submit your information about any senior that you want spotlighted in the area.
And I tell you what, if you got a picture you want to submit with it, go ahead and send it, and we'll put it up on the screen, man.
That's right. We will spotlight any senior that you want to spotlight. We'll get their picture up and a little bit of a bio if you want to type it out for us. Obviously, I'm not going to do any work as far as like research and finding out about your son or your daughter. You have to put this spotlight information together yourself. But send it to us along with a picture, and we will get your senior spotlighted on Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And I think it's a really cool idea. Ben Gillig and I talked about it last night when we recorded our interview that will be posted later this week as a recorded segment on Mullin It Over. But, it's something that I think it could really go somewhere. And I think it has a good potential to, I don't know. It has potential to reach a lot of people if people embrace the idea. That's the thing. You're going to have to embrace it. And if you want your senior to get the spotlight that I think and you think they deserve, then, embrace the idea, send us some information, and we will be happy to get that out there for you.
Absolutely. I mean, graduating's not no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like these students have worked hard to get to the point that they're at. They worked hard to graduate, so why not give them as much recognition as we can?
Absolutely. So once again, senior spotlight this week here on Mullin It Over. Please send us the information to hoosbroadcasting@gmail.com, or you can send it to info@heartofohiosports.com. That's info@heartofohiosports.com. That is for Senior Spotlight Week here on Mullin It Over. Now let's talk a little bit about what we have coming up this week. So, Greg, we talked about the playoffs. We've got tomorrow night's game, Tiffin Calvert versus Van Loo. Don't know a whole lot about Van Loo.
That's what I was just going to say. I don't know much about Van Loo. We haven't seen any of their games or anything this year.
I have not seen anything from them at all.
I'm sure Calvert knows a little bit more than we do about Van Loo.
Well, Matt Coleman does a really good job of scouting opponents. That's one thing that I've noticed every time we've seen them play a game. He's got signals. He's got plans. They have a plan of action. It's not like they're just going up there and swinging away and throwing wild pitch. They have a plan of action, and they scout their opponents so they know what to look for, and they know what players to, I guess,
keep an eye on, something like that.
How to attack and how to approach each player based on their individual scouting report. And I think Matt Coleman does a great job of that. I think, Coach Malott does a great job of that at Tiffin Columbian as well.
Yeah, both excellent coaches.
Another one, Tony Swanigan, does a great job of that over at Hopewell Loudon, as they are just rolling their way through the SBC this year. And they secured the SBC River Championship in baseball. And then Tiffin Columbian with the SBC Lake Championship. So a couple of local SBC champs here. But that's Tuesday night's game. Now let's talk about Thursday.
Hold on just a minute here, Nate. You told me before never to trust Max Preps, but I'm looking up the Van Loo baseball team here, and it says that they're 0-12.
Ooh, well, they are the 12th seed in this region.
Man.
So, I mean...
I mean, you never want to overlook an opponent, but, man, that's the opponent that you'd want to be facing in the first round of the playoffs.
True, true. But I think, as Matt Coleman would tell anybody, you don't check them in the win column until it's over. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen from a couple games this year that anything can happen. It really doesn't matter what the records are, but got to feel a little bit of comfort looking at that.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So, now we want to talk a little bit about Thursday's game. So, you've got Hopewell Loudon, and they await the winner as they're in the sectional final. No matter how you look at it, they're going to be there, and they await let me see, pull this up here. Statewide tournament brackets on OHSAA Division 4. They are in the Clyde region, I believe. Yes. They're the first seed, the number 1 seed. They await the winner of Arcadia and Sandusky St. Mary. That's the matchup between the 9 and the 10 seed. Calvert has the 12 seed. They're the 6th seed in the tournament. Van Loo is their opponent. And once again, that's tomorrow night. The Hopewell Loudon matchup will be on Thursday at 5 o'clock. And they face either Arcadia or Sandusky St. Mary. Now, Tiffin Calvert, if they were to win and move on, they would face the winner of Fremont St. Joe versus Cardinal Stritch. Now, earlier this year, we watched that Tiffin Calvert team dismantle Fremont St. Joe 8-1 in Tiffin.
Yep.
And that would be another one of those games where it would be played in Tiffin because it would be higher seed gets the home field advantage. Now, if that were to play out and then Hopewell Loudon were to win their game against the winner of Arcadia Sandusky St. Mary, those two teams would play each other then on May 25th. Now, I don't like looking ahead, obviously, but I'm looking at a bracket, and that allows me to look ahead.
The conditions are right there.
Yes, yes. So you've got some interesting things in the works here with this Division 4, Region 13 here. That's the Gates Mills region. But once again, that is the Clyde District. Hopewell Loudon plays on Thursday. Calvert plays tomorrow night. Now let's take a look at Division 2 as Tiffin Columbian. I believe they're in the Bluffton region, correct? Yes, Bluffton region. They are the number 1 seed in the Bluffton region. They await the winner of the Elida and Fostoria matchup. That takes place this Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And Tiffin Columbian's matchup would take place then on Friday at 5 o'clock. And then on the other side of that bracket, you have the Ontario. You have Ontario, the 3 seed. And then at the top of the bracket, Wapakoneta is the 2 seed in the region. So don't know a lot about any of these teams here, Greg. There's a lot of unfamiliar faces. Fostoria is about the only team that I'm familiar with from the region. Upper Sandusky, another one. Upper Sandusky is the 5 seed in this region. So that would actually be a pretty cool matchup to see Tiffin Columbian and Upper Sandusky face off in the district semifinal. That would take place on the 26th.
It'd be interesting.
Oh, and that start time gets earlier. It's a 4:30 start time. What is this? What are you doing to me? You can't do that. I don't like that. Yeah, the 25th or 26th is a Thursday at 4:30. And that would be, in Bluffton. Yeah, in Bluffton. That would be real fun and interesting to try to get there from Tiffin.
I was going to say, that if it comes down to that, you're probably going to have to see if you can get somebody to help you out so you take off early.
Yeah.
Boss man understand.
Figure something out for that one.
Bluffton's a nice 45-minute drive or something like that, I think so.
Yeah. We did make it the one day. The furthest we've had to travel this year is Lakota so far for baseball. And that was only a 30-minute drive. Luckily, that was a Monday game. I don't work Mondays.
I'm just glad whoever made our schedule made it all nice and neat like that for us. Oh, wait a minute.
I tried to keep the travel to a minimum because
Well, we were unsure of our internet connections and everything at the time when we made the schedule, so we weren't trying to overextend our reach by any means.
and I didn't know what those sites presented to us as far as, from a logistical standpoint. Like,
Yeah, a lot of baseball fields don't quite compare to the football fields and things like that we're used to traveling to. I mean, you go out to some of these places and they're like, electricity, yeah, we don't have that out here. I don't know what you want.
we can pull it from the scoreboard. You got a 300-foot extension cable? Ugh.
Like the school's got outlets. You want to
Do we have Wi-Fi for electric? Is that possible? Can we
wireless electric? Hook us up.
But
So
no,
we joke about it, but then I think about wireless chargers, and I'm like, the future's probably not that far away.
it's not. It really isn't. We're getting there. But no, it's each site represents their own challenges, and that's something that we've had to deal with all year. And I will say, every single one of these fields that we've called a game from, the field itself, they're always in gorgeous conditions. It's not about the field. It's not about the grass or the dirt or anything, the bases. None of that. That's all perfect.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, like, the caretakers of these fields are doing a great job. I mean, they can't do anything about how old the fencing is or the dugouts are or anything like that, but they can make them look as good as they can, and they do.
The one thing that, as a audio guy for most of my career, and now delving into this video world, that we're finding new challenges, like the netting or the chain link fences.
Yeah, that's something I didn't even think about at the start of the season.
Yeah, like
we go to set up, and I'm like, I can't focus because there's a fence in my way.
Yeah, it was hard to figure out how we were going to get around this, but I think once we figured it out,
We've seemed to figure out a way almost every time at the places. I mean, the schools and the athletic directors are accommodating to us in one way or another, and they want to help us out because we're helping them out, so it really works good.
For sure. And each one of these places is different. Like, you go to Tiffin Columbian and they have a press box. You go to Hopewell Loudon, they have a press box. But then you go to Calvert's Field, they don't really have a press box. They have like a concession stand that sits behind the home plate area. There's no press box there, but it's still a beautiful facility. They have a great facility down there for baseball. We're not taking anything away from what they have to offer. It's just the amenities for the press and the media just aren't there because up until this year, nobody really covered this stuff, Greg. Mm-hmm. I mean, you think about it, we're kind of trailblazers when it comes to this.
We really are. Nobody's done this. And I know I've seen comments on Facebook and stuff from former players here in town who said, man, I really wish that, somebody was covering stuff like this when I was in high school, knocking back them home runs and whatnot. And so it's nice to see that it's appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I'm trying to get my wife to answer a phone call for me. There's certain things about this show that I'm going to have to learn as I go because
but it's also what makes it kind of neat.
Oh, for sure.
It's just on the fly and
it's all live. There's no editing. So it's not like I'm going to go back and edit some parts out. You're going to get the whole thing, and you're going to get parts of my life. You're going to get my kids. You're going to get my wife. You're going to get my friends. So this is me. That's why we call it Mullin It Over. And there's opportunities for you to get involved, folks. If you have a business that you want to promote, we don't think of it as you got to be in this little 8:30 to 9:30 window or the 9 to 10 o'clock window, whenever. We're going to be pretty loose with the format as far as like, okay, you might not see us at 8:30 in the morning every morning. You might not see us right on time at but we're going to be live every morning. We're going to do a show every morning for sure. And the opportunity is there for you as a business to promote your business through this venue. If you want to set up an interview, if you want us to tour your business, because what I really want to do is promote local small businesses and promote the people that make those small businesses work. During the pandemic, you had a lot of struggle. You had a lot of people that dealt with different things in this community. But the businesses were really the people that struggled the most because they had to adapt and they had to change things on the fly. And I'd love an opportunity to sit down and talk with any of you in the community who made it through that and figured out ways to adapt and overcome And even if you don't want to talk about the pandemic and you just want to come on and you want to talk about your business, you want to promote what you have to offer the community, please shoot me an email, nmullins@heartofohiosports.com or info@heartofohiosports.com. Send us an email. We want to talk to you. We want to come to your business. We can schedule an interview any time of the day, almost, as long as I'm not working personally. We can schedule an interview and get you in, and we'll make it work for you. So it doesn't have to be in this 8:30 to 9:30 window. We can come and shoot a video, record it, and then it'll play during this time frame as a live video, but it'll just be a recorded segment. So if you have a business that you want to promote, please get a hold of us. Let's get you some promotion. Let's get you some exposure that I feel like all these area businesses deserve. Of course, this is my show, so I'm going to be a little picky as far as who I want to promote. And that's just the nature of the business. If you want to do this on your own, you want to create your own show, you want to promote your own business, you're more than welcome to. You can do that anytime you want. But what I will say is, if you reach out to me, I'll reach back out to you. I will let you know one way or the other whether we can get you on the show and get you promoted, because we want to work with you. We want to work with the community, and we really want to promote the businesses that we feel like are helping this community. And because there's a lot of you out there who are kind of behind the scenes. You don't get the recognition that I feel like you deserve. And maybe you don't want the recognition, but you want your business to get the recognition that it deserves. Maybe you don't want the focus on you. You want it on your business. We can do that too. We can tailor the interview to where if you don't want the focus on you, it won't be on you. If you want us to focus on just your business or your employees or your manager or whoever, just reach out to us. We'll make something work. We want content. We want to be able to provide content to the community that they want to see. And I think it's a perspective that a lot of people in this community, while they might not think they want it, once they get a taste of it, they're really going to like it, I think. And would you agree, Greg? I mean, if you had an opportunity to see how these businesses operate behind the scenes, I mean, isn't that pretty interesting?
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but I think that there's a lot of things that go by the wayside of like features or things that these companies might offer, or like, you know, when it comes to the food companies, new menu items and stuff. Sometimes, like, you know, word of mouth travels, but the more eyes and ears that you get on that word of mouth, the more it travels. So there, you know, just in the course of doing this baseball season, I found out, like, I didn't know Rogers Flowers did tuxedos and things like that. You know, like, I didn't even know that some of these businesses offered the services that they do, and that's exactly what this would do, is help get that word out, and like maybe get somebody down to your business for some new feature that you offer, or get down there for some new menu item that you offer, or heck, like you said, even if you just wanted to show appreciation to your staff and what a great job they've done to keep your business rolling. I mean, anything. It's really open for anything.
And that's a great point, Greg. You know, you see a lot of businesses do these employee appreciation days where, yeah, I thought what was really cool was when AJ's did it.
Yeah.
They had, you know, the whole day, whatever they made that day went back to their employees. You know, I heard of a lot of employees made quite a bit of money that day, and it was a really cool way to give back to their employees. Well, maybe you don't have that. Maybe you don't have that money, but you still want to show your employees that they matter, that they're important to you. That's one way you can do it. Reach out to us and we'll get them the promotion that you feel like they deserve. And that's something that I think is really cool and unique, and it doesn't really cost you a dime in the long run. I mean, maybe a little bit of service exchange here, you know.
And it really does matter to the employees. Like, I'm sure that'll make their day, their week, you know, showing the appreciation for them. It's something that, like, you just don't get a lot.
That's right. And I don't want you to just think of this as restaurants either, people. Like, if you've got a roofing business and you want to promote your employees, or you want to promote your business. If you've got a landscaping business and you want to show us, you know, you would be amazed at the opportunities that are out there.
Yeah,
like a landscaping business, you want to do a video on how to trim your landscape, you know, show just a video of you doing a trim around a tree or something.
So if you think that we won't bring the camera to you and show whatever you want to show off, you're wrong. That's what I'm talking about, being open for anything.
So once again, advertise and promote your business here on Mullin It Over. Get a hold of us. And another thing that I'd like to promote here, this first show is really going to be just kind of what you're going to get with this Mullin It Over whole process. But what I really want to promote is there's an opportunity for you to get Now I lost my train of thought. I hate it when that
Oh, I
happens.
hate when that happens, man.
I hate it. I just had it right there, and it was right there. And then it's like, oh. Advertising. Yes. We have she's awesome. This is why I married this woman. She's amazing. So we have a partnership with Dead Shark Productions, one of the top video production companies in Ohio and the top in this area. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and you're not just saying that because you used them personally for the music festival before. So
look at what they do, folks. Go find them on Facebook, find them on YouTube especially. Make sure you're subscribed to their channel on YouTube. But find them, and I'm telling you, folks, this is one of the top production companies in this area when it comes to video production, high quality, HD quality video. And we've partnered with them for them to produce all of our video commercials. So right now they are working with a few of our title sponsors, our legacy sponsors. We sent out some information to a lot of different area businesses about legacy sponsorships. Those are done. Those are closed, doors closed. You had your chance, and if you didn't jump on, well, sorry, but now you're not going to be able to save the money that you could have if you'd have jumped on board with us when you had the chance. There's still going to be plenty of opportunity to jump on the bandwagon, but now you're just going to have to pay a little more because you had an opportunity to save some money, but now that opportunity is closed. But our legacy sponsors are working with Dead Shark Productions right now. Each one of them is getting a 15-second commercial through the legacy sponsor package, and that's produced by Dead Shark Productions. Now, those commercials are all going to air on Mullin It Over, on all of our sports broadcasts, on our podcasts. These are different things that we're doing to promote area businesses and also using partnerships in this community to further business advancements. I mean, you talk about what we're trying to do and what Dead Shark is trying to do. When we work together, I think it's a great partnership, and it only is going to benefit businesses and people in the community. And I really feel like this is just the start of something that's going to be really big. These video commercials, folks, if you have a business and you want to get involved and you want to get your video commercial on here, I'm telling you, this is a great opportunity. It's only going to get more expensive from here because the more exposure we get, the more the demand rises, and the more demand rises,
the more value we have.
You know how that happens. You know how that works.
I tell you, and this is no joke, I don't even have one of these businesses that's getting a commercial made, and I can't wait to see it. Like, I'm excited.
Well, when we're
I
done,
cannot
I'll
wait
show
to
you.
see it.
I'll show you one of them that Dead Shark just sent me when we're done here.
Oh man, I know it's gonna be amazing.
I have the first commercial already loaded up and ready to go. But we don't want to just put out one commercial. So we're waiting until we've got at least 3 or 4 different commercials so we can load them up into different games and stuff. So, but once again, if you have a business, you want to promote it, what better way? I'm telling you, folks, be seen, not just heard. There's plenty of opportunities out there for you to advertise. You know, you can do a billboard, but you're only going to be seen and not heard. There's no audio, and you've only got one chance to get that traction right there. That's it. That one opportunity when somebody drives by that billboard.
And I tell you,
it's gone. And with the way people's attention span is now, that's gone.
And I'm not knocking these billboard companies, but I do want to make a point that I've seen, especially with these digital billboards. Sometimes you drive by these and it's just such a stretched, blurred picture that I can't even make out what any of the information says. I just see like a picture of a real estate agent or something like that, you know, and I'm just like, okay, well, who do I call? Where do they work for? Because it's just, you know, it seems like a good idea at the time, but that's not an issue you're going to run into here. It's going to be crystal clear. You're going to be able to see it over and over again, be able to watch the replays, and like Nate said, be seen, not just heard.
That's right. Now, there is an opportunity for you to purchase the video, but there's also just an opportunity for you to save some money and just have it produced through Dead Shark and played on our stream. So if you want to do that, folks, the opportunity is there. Please take advantage of it. Once again, get a hold of me and Mullins at heartofohiosports.com. Let's work together because there's so much opportunity out there We can do a 15-second commercial. We can do a 30-second commercial. We can do a 60-second commercial.
When people see these commercials, everybody's going to want one.
You're going to want one. I'm telling you. And the opportunity to save money is now if you want to get one of these commercials made. Once again, partnering with Dead Shark Productions on this. So you're going to want to get involved if you want to like step up your game when it comes to your promotions and your advertising. What better way? Because not only are you going to get eyes on you during the live segment, but also anytime anybody rewatches the video, they're going to see that ad. And the way these commercials are set up, they're not going to be ones that you want to skip.
Yeah, you're not going to be sitting there for 3 or 4 minutes waiting for the show to come back on. It's going to be a nice, quick little thing, but it's something that'll grab your attention. And like you said, Nate, you can watch it multiple times over and over again.
Exactly. So you will get multiple views on your commercial per broadcast. I'm just saying this is going to be it's a great avenue for you to take advantage of.
I was going to say, and even if you have one of those sticklers that loves to skip through commercials, you can't skip through live commercials.
That's right. That's absolutely right. But anyways, let's move on a little bit. We've got a little bit to talk about here, and then we got to wrap things up. We do have headlines. We have local headlines that we've already talked about. National headlines is going to be a thing that we'll talk about when we get more structured, because I think this first one is just more of like a podcast kind of format. There's not going to be any breaks. There's not going to be any, but tomorrow we'll have segments. We're going to have a special guest. Scott Donaldson's going to come on with us about 8:45 for a special guest segment, a Zoom call. And him and I are going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about local college sports. And we're going to talk about coaching. It's going to be a little coach's corner. As I have a little bit of coaching experience at the youth level. Not to brag or anything. Compared to him,
job,
it's
Donaldson.
a joke.
Watch out, he's coming for your job.
I just wanted to laugh. Everybody deserves a good laugh, and that's going to give people a good laugh. Because I coach 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. This guy coaches 19, 20, 21-year-old guys. Geez.
I don't know which one's harder, though, to be honest with you.
We can debate that tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Make sure you tune in right here on Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. All right, Greggy, baseball tomorrow, another episode of Mullin It Over. Possible podcast tonight if we can get everybody linked up and together. What do you think? We've got a lot of cool stuff in the works this week. What are you most excited about?
I'm excited about the baseball playoffs. I'm excited about the shows coming out, but it's just being able to see these student athletes continue on and like the passion that they have for these games. It's a lot of fun to watch, man. I'm just glad we have 3 games this week.
Yes. Yes. And they're all playoff games. Now, I can't guarantee they're going to be great games because, they're early games. Most of these early games, it's the same way with basketball. When you have a good team and you have a lower seeded team,
it's a mismatch.
It's a mismatch.
That's the way it's set up.
You're going to have lopsided scores most likely, but either way, you're going to have some exciting baseball here to watch on Heart of Ohio Sports this week. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night for Tiffin Calvert versus Van Loo. But first, we'll have another episode of Mullin It Over coming to you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That's going to do it for Greg Kinn. I'm Nate Mullins, wrapping things up here on Mullin It Over. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, everybody.